everyone. I'm Sunny.
I'm Rachel.
And I'm Rox. And this is
Literature on the Rocks.
Hey.
It's a book club.
It's a book club. I was like, is it a book club? I don't remember.
Wait, I think we are sounding like our normal selves this time.
These are our actual voices. Unsick.
This is
Catch it while you can, because Lord knows what's going to happen in a few days.
We all got kids. We be passing along sicknesses left and right.
Oh, tell me about it.
you would think it's
and the
getting
last
hot
one you
out?
passed out took me out, girl.
Sorry. You know what's crazy? It's my whole family, other than my oldest, she didn't get it. Everybody else in the family got it. And it was like a day or two of sickness. And I lost my voice for 2 weeks. I was all sickly and sounded horrid. And then you got your ass handed to you for a few days.
That was the most sick I had been in since I was pregnant.
Damn.
Yeah, it was a rough one. I was out cold. It's just nice to hear us, and we sound like ourselves for the first time. I might still be a little nasally, but not as bad as we have been.
I've since started talking about it. I have never wanted to cough so bad in my life.
Don't do it.
All right, I'm good now.
Now, my daughter, when you cough, she grabs your shirt and puts it over your mouth. That's how much I have been coughing now that she knows to cover my mouth for me.
She's like, no.
I don't want your germs, Mom.
You already gave it to me. I don't need it again, Mom. Please cover your mouth.
Put it away.
Yeah. And now she'll do it even if I'm not coughing. She just like grabs my shirt and like, oh, you want me to cough? And then she like smiles. Like, oh my God, I'm so excited for this. I can't wait to surprise you guys with this. I got to figure out what I'm going to do though. Okay. Anyways, continue.
When is this surprise coming?
Yeah. I don't know how.
Can you please let us prepare? I don't really like surprises
Same,
that much. Like,
same.
I like the idea
Too
of
bad.
them,
But
like,
I like
bad.
to do surprises. I don't like to be surprised.
same.
You
I
guys
do
will love it.
I like to be surprised. I do not like the anticipation of knowing I'm going to be surprised.
Yeah, I guess that's
Actually,
not
that's
knowing
half
and
the
all
fun.
that.
I like gifts.
I like presents. Yeah,
Presents are
those
good.
are fun.
I love it.
You will like this surprise. It'll be at the end of the episode.
Oh man, that's a long time to wait.
Yep.
All right, let's record the ending now.
Yeah, right. And that's a wrap on this episode. All right, well, do we want to get into this episode then as quickly as possible and fly through it so we can know what the surprise is?
Hell yeah!
All right, let's do it.
So our first 4 questions are always the same, and then the last 3 or 4 we are specific to the book. So for our first question, it is first impressions. What were your initial thoughts when you started reading The Mothers? Did the book meet your expectations or surprise you? I didn't know a lot about the book, but it was definitely, when I first started reading it, it felt slow. But like any good whodunit book, it did have me trying to put the clues together before it was revealed, and that is one of my favorite reasons to read books like this. I also am usually cautious because I hate when the killer is just some random person we didn't know. But not this one though. She was pretty much in our face the whole time, and I really loved it in the end.
Yes. The Mothers was my pick, and I knew it was going to be a thriller surrounded around mothers and their friendship, so I kind of had that already expected, and I think it didn't disappoint. However, I struggled to get through it at the beginning. Not gonna lie, there are way too many characters in this book.
Wait till we
I
get
could
Daphne
not.
Tree.
Yeah.
Yes, I could not keep track, so I had to step away and come back to it like 3 weeks later because I needed to be in the right headspace to really pay attention. I struggled because I was listening to it on my way to and from work, and I tend to just kind of zone out when I'm driving. I would catch myself just zoning and doing whatever, and then realizing, wait, what? Who is that? What happened? What? Dang it. And then I have to rewind it 30 minutes because I have no clue what happened. So it was a struggle. Anyways, once I was able to dedicate the time it deserved, it was captivating and interesting, and I did really enjoy it.
Yes, same. I just wrote it was slow, so I wasn't sure if I was going to like the book. I knew it was the thriller, but that's as far as my knowledge of the book, initial knowledge. It did take a pleasant turn, and I was very surprised with the ending. So
Yay.
I didn't even think the description of the book, I don't know that I read it.
It
was
definitely
just
didn't give
really
that much.
vague.
Yeah.
5 women, 1 husband's missing.
Yes.
dun dun dun. Yeah, I think I just knew it was a thriller because when I went to buy it on Apple Books, it was in
The
that
thriller section.
category. And I was like,
As you were perusing the aisles of the e-readers.
yes, exactly.
Let's check out the thriller section.
Yes.
Oh my! Unresolved question. Were there any plot points or character arcs that you felt were left unresolved or could have been explored further? And I wrote, nope. Sarah did a good job of buttoning up all the storylines.
Yes. I said the same thing. I said, to be honest, there are too many characters to even think about what was left unresolved.
Yeah, right.
I think it was fine. I don't think my brain could handle any more information or any more plot points. But if I really think about it, I wasn't really left wondering if there was anything more. I was really content with the way the story played out.
Mostly the same. I mean, if I had to choose, I think Jen's story, I would want more of her crazy. Or did anyone ever question the fact that she had a kid so easily this time around? Was there any suspicion about her kid? Or did everyone just move past it, even if they thought there was something up? I didn't love that everyone was ride or die in the end, except for Jen. I was mad at her. But I mean, she did help cover it up, but was originally going to let Bella take the fall for it. And I didn't like that. But it wasn't really an unresolved question. It was more of a, just give me more.
That's a
Her
good
crazy
point.
life.
That if she had kind of given us a little bit of her backstory, it would have made the intent behind the murder so much more I mean, not that it wasn't captivating, but
Right.
it would have just connected the dots a little bit because
I mean, we knew she killed her dad. Like, there
Yeah.
were like little droplets of it, but I want that whole
yes,
story, right?
almost
I
like
wanna
that
know.
could be its own separate book,
Yeah, and
like the prequel.
she's now killed twice.
Yeah.
She clearly doesn't have any qualms about it.
No. She's
So what else
talking
goes
about
on
how
in
her
her
son
life?
is going to be a clever little killer like mommy.
And how many people is she going to kill in her life? Nobody
Yeah.
knows. Or
Yeah.
has she
Or
killed?
Has she killed more?
Ooh, is the baby, like her child minder, going to fuck up one day and then boop, she gone?
She
Out.
gone.
Yes. Okay.
Yeah.
So, okay,
That's
good.
what I
That's
would
a
want.
really good point because there was a lot of questions on what she had going on in her head.
I didn't feel like the book itself was unresolved.
No, I
but
agree.
I would want more of Jen's story and to hear more of her crazy.
Yes. I think I picked this book just out of running through a list of other people's really good book recommendations. And I think when we built the TBR, I was just in my mother era. So I was like, this sounds good. Let's
Yeah.
do it.
It was a good book.
Yes. And I mean, we kind of get into this further when we're talking about specifics, but I think I would have struggled to read this book if I was shortly postpartum. Like,
Oh,
because
yeah.
there's a lot of stuff that I think I would have been like, or maybe it would have been great to read postpartum. Like, oh my God, this is how I
Same.
feel. Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
I wasn't immediately postpartum after
Right.
it either. So good point. Okay. So alternate ending. If you could change one thing about the ending of The Mothers, what would it be and why? I said maybe the ladies get away with the murder, but then it flashes forward so many years. Someone finds out about the truth behind the death. And I don't know how it goes from there, but it just, that is like a new twist that's like somebody maybe just randomly finds a clue and is like, wait a second, what the hell?
Somehow it comes out that Jen was the one who killed him and
Yes.
the truth comes out.
Yeah, that's what I mean. Like the truth comes. But I said,
okay.
with this approach, it leaves it open for so many other endings. I couldn't decide on just one. So even if it was just a sequel that came out after it, that might be an interesting thing. Like now you get a little tidbit of somebody figured it out. Now there's a whole nother book about them trying to figure out the truth and.
We get the story
Murder
of
her.
Jen's backstory, but that collides with present day. Them
Yes!
finding out that she was the one who killed him.
Yes. And then the girls
Okay.
come together to kill her.
I don't think they would do
No,
that.
I don't know.
You
if
don't
they would
think
either.
so?
I think she's the only conniving bitch that would do the murder.
I mean, maybe.
I think Chrissy would say, like, look, I touched a jello-y body already in the river. I'm not fucking doing it again.
And I feel like Bella would be like, I forgive you.
Right.
Oh,
Right.
no. And then
You
there's
changed
the
my life for the better, actually.
Yeah.
That, I mean, she really did. That's true. But Christy, she would probably say, I've already used my powers to cover up one murder. I don't know that I could use them to cover up another
I'm
one.
done. That's my quota.
I'm going to get disbarred.
Possibly jailed.
No, just losing her license is most important.
I don't care about jail time. Whatever. Give it to me. I will say this one, I said absolutely not. I didn't want an alternate ending. But I do like what we've talked about. The twist at the end threw me for such a loop. There's no way that I think I could do better than what she wrote, so I wouldn't change it. But I do like the idea of extending the storyline. And
Buckle up for this answer.
Oh, man.
Okay.
Okay, tell me. I'm ready.
So it's a combination of everything we've already said. I said there was such a big reveal by Jen that I wouldn't change it, but I would add a secondary book where all of Jen's lies slowly unravel, starting with the birth of her baby, who ends up being Ewan's twin. Oh. And then it just runs out from
Because
there.
then people start questioning, right?
Yeah, like, why the fuck does he look like my dead husband, Jen?
I
Yes.
like that.
But I do like having it merged with Jen's like origin story, her villain origin story, and how her lies start to
and how
unravel.
many people she's actually killed. And maybe it's not just her dad, and she killed a lot of dads.
She's got daddy issues.
Clearly. So now we go into adaptation dreams. If the mothers were to be adapted into a movie or TV series, who would you cast in the main roles? I did Bella, Chrissy, Electra, Sky, and Jen.
That's all I did.
Same.
So for Bella, I chose Claire Foy. She is one of the younger queens from The Crown.
I like her face.
She could be the kind, motherly
sweet-
person,
Yeah.
right?
Okay, then you guys are gonna hate mine. I'm gonna get casted out.
Can't wait. Helen Mirren.
I leaned into the fact that Bella was the character that had kind of gained some weight after birth.
Okay.
And she felt a little less pretty. So I kind of leaned into that.
Okay.
And I picked Amy Schumer.
I can't imagine that bitch doing a British accent.
I don't think they would have to have a British accent.
If it's being made in the US, we could just do
usually
it
cut
normal.
it. We're like, we're Americans making this.
We
Let's
make
get-
every.
It's gonna be a Western.
They would need to
everybody
get
else.
approval from the author to do that for her to sign off the rights to make the movie.
Well, if
Sarah
she-
J. Naughton, fight them.
So yeah, Amy Schumer. I was leaning into the physicality of it instead of the acting chops.
Okay. Okay.
The fact that she's a comedian, you didn't.
She's an actress. She's made movies.
She
They're
has.
usually comedies.
Comedies.
So
Makes her a comedian.
we're making her work her
Bella,
acting
she's hilarious.
skills. She could be. It's a new twist on the movie.
All right.
Okay.
All right. Who'd you
I
pick,
picked
Rachel?
Emma Watson.
Oh, Emma Watson.
Emma Watson.
Emma
Okay.
Watson. I thought
Okay.
she looked very demure and
I mean, similar looks.
Doe-eyed.
When she has
Yeah.
the short hair.
Yeah, I'm voting off Amy Schumer.
same.
So I picked Sunny's
Okay.
because I really like her.
Okay. Now for Chrissy, this is the one that I have two for. And it's because I actually think Blake Lively would do a really good job. As Chrissy, but I know there's all this controversial whateverness about it. So I chose a second one, but I still think I like Blake Lively better. But so Diana Agron, she's the girl from Glee. She's kind, but she's like also kind of a bitch.
Yeah.
She's like,
Okay.
yeah,
I chose Anne Hathaway.
Oh.
that's a good one.
I think that she could be like fake nice, also very serious in her role.
I picked Emily Blunt.
Oh, that's a good one.
She plays a very good, serious bitch.
Yeah, she does.
Serious bitch. We picked some
And
good
Blake
ones.
Lively's a good one too. Dang. I don't know there's anyone I like really want to cast out.
Yeah, I don't know either.
Yeah.
How do we do an impasse?
I'll second Blake Lively because I think that was a good choice.
Okay.
Okay.
I do like the other two, but she plays a very good boss bitch.
Okay, so Sky, I chose, which is it's an actress I chose in the past, but Riley Keough, just because she kind of gives me hippie vibes.
Have we? Oh, okay.
We need to throw some dreads and make her blonde, but I feel like she's got the like boho vibe to her, and
Sure. Okay. I chose Zoe Kravitz.
Oh. I
Yeah.
picked Rihanna
Okay.
because of Ocean's 13. She is like the hippie hacker.
Is she? Yeah. It's been a minute since I've
But
seen
I
Ocean's
do
13.
like, but she's not as strong of an actress as Zoe Kravitz.
Yeah.
I like Zoe Kravitz. I did not put her because I knew you were choosing her.
Because that's the only character I
like Zoe
visualized
Kravitz.
from the very beginning.
Yeah.
I will
Zoe.
I will give you that. That's a good win.
Ooh, look at me go.
Okay, Electra. I chose Phoebe Tonkin. She's from the originals and the Vampire Diaries. She's the werewolf girl. I don't know if you ever
She
watched
kind
it.
of has
She looks like Mila Kunis a little bit.
Oh, I was gonna say Angelina Jolie.
Like a baby between Mila Kunis and Angelina.
I feel like she had the edgy look to her.
Okay, I went with Alice Eve because Electra was like supposed to be like the hot one,
Yeah,
right?
her and Jen. I feel like she was like
The older hot.
Yes. And this actress has played like
hot one.
the hot
one.
person in the like the love interest, you know?
Yeah.
So I could just imagine her being that. And I really like her.
I picked Keira Knightley.
Oh,
okay.
Keira Knightley. Okay.
I thought she would play like the good, like stressed out person on the like what I thought of was her having her moment on the metro with Ozzy under the thing. And I was like, she would play a good, like disheveled mom trying to get her kid out of the fucking stroller. Buggy.
Out of the buggy. Oh man. Okay, what do you guys think? Because I really like mine. I think if I had to pick between the two of you, I think I like Keira Knightley better.
I think I like Keira Knightley.
Okay, so we'll cast out Sunny.
Yeah, I won!
And she picks Keira Knightley.
Y'all are some really good winners. Jen, I struggled with because I really wanted some bombshell knockout. And I feel like we don't have one of those in this generation.
We don't. So I picked someone who I think can play a little bit younger.
Okay.
But is in her mid-30s.
I picked someone who's not as well known. I picked Camilla Maroney. She's mostly well known because she dated Leonardo DiCaprio. She's
a model. And an actress.
She's an actress. Yeah, she was just in Daisy Jones and the Six.
We know how we feel about models being actresses around here.
No, she is definitely an actress, and she is doing more and more work now.
Okay.
She has a good look for Jen. She's a little bit of a bombshell. She can have a dark side.
Okay, I went a little bit of a different angle.
Okay.
However, I chose Zendaya.
Oh.
I was gonna choose Zendaya for Guy.
That could have been a good one.
Yeah. But
But I thought
I
Zendaya
still like Zoe Kravitz better. So I was
is like the bombshell of the generation right after
I
us.
don't think she plays a really good, like, sweet, nerdy.
She
she's
plays
gorgeous.
Euphoria.
She is
and
gorgeous,
She's
but-
wild in Euphoria.
I think she is gorgeous, beautiful, stunning, all the things.
Super.
I don't think she's like curvaceous, big tits. gonna be
Oh,
in
is
the
she
front
supposed
of-
to be like
She
that?
gets a boob
fake
job.
boob.
You can give her a boob job.
CGI some titties on Zendaya.
Like, I think she's gorgeous, but I don't.
I don't see her as Jen.
She's not a playboy, right?
Yeah.
Like, and I feel like that was Jen.
She's
Jen
a wholesome, sweet bombshell neighbor.
Backspace on that one.
Sorry. All right.
Okay, go.
I picked Margot Robbie.
Oh, Margot Robbie?
Robbie.
Yeah.
Oh, I like that one.
Especially since she was
Barbie.
Harley Quinn.
Oh, yeah,
She
yeah,
can
yeah.
play a psycho.
Yeah. All right. I like Margot Robbie.
Okay. So for Bella, we have Claire Foy. Chrissy was Blake Lively. Electra, Keira Knightley. Sky, Zoe Kravitz. And Jen, Margot Robbie.
What an eclectic group we have.
Which fits because these
That-
mothers
yeah.
are very different.
I am very pleased with our casting.
Yes.
Contact us if you make this movie. We have thoughts.
Ice drop complete.
All right. Isolation in motherhood. The women often feel alone, even when surrounded by others. How does the novel portray the emotional toll of early motherhood? Did it feel honest or exaggerated? And I have a lengthy answer.
All right, let's hit us with it.
So that part of the book was so real. It captured something I felt deeply myself, that early motherhood can be so isolating, even when you're constantly surrounded by people. I remember feeling especially alone when my eldest hit around the 2-year mark. Everyone talks about the baby stage, but nobody really prepares you for the emotional toll of toddlerhood. The meltdowns, the constant demands, the way you feel completely touched out and unseen. And even now with my 3-year-old throwing what feels like 10 different tantrums a day, there are moments I feel raw and utterly alone, like I'm the only one in the world feeling this way, even though I logically know I'm not. The story didn't sugarcoat it or dramatize it. It just simply told the truth. And I think it's important because while motherhood is isolating at times, other mothers need to know they're not actually alone in those feelings. And so many of us are out here quietly surviving the same storms. And sometimes just knowing that can be enough to feel a little less invisible.
Truth.
Lengthy.
No, it was
Oh,
good.
It was perfect. Similarly, I wrote, sometimes it felt almost too real in this book.
Yeah.
I mean, the book opened with a mother contemplating taking the life of her son, which was definitely extreme, but I don't doubt there are people who are experiencing those emotions when first becoming a mom. I was almost there. Then there were all the other examples of motherhood struggles, dealing with breakdowns in the middle of somewhere public. Even if you don't have a neurodivergent kid, this happens and it frickin' sucks. Constantly feeling like you're being judged as a mother and even a wife. Feelings of being inadequate. The list goes on. I think this book did a great job at looking at many different homes with moms from many different backgrounds and understanding that we all can have the same struggles.
Yeah, ditto.
That's all you wrote. Ditto.
I just said, I think it definitely played on the emotions that come with early motherhood. I wouldn't say that it's exaggerated because there are women who feel that loneliness very strongly. If nothing else, the story really highlighted the importance of having people around that you can relate to, open up to about your struggles, and have a place to decompress. For me, early motherhood, the first 6 to 7 months of being a parent, I was self-inflicted loneliness. And I think a lot of people do it and don't realize it. And now looking back on it, I wanted to do it all on my own. I wanted to be able to figure it out. I don't know why I'm getting emotional about it, but
Because it's emotional.
Yeah. And it's a real thing that we all all do. Like, I need to prove that I worked this hard to be a mom, especially for us. It didn't come
And
quick
most of
and
the time,
easy.
it's just proving it to yourself.
Yeah.
Yes.
So you want that special time with them. So you want to experience all the things.
Yeah. So even though it felt lonely, it was my own doing because I didn't want anybody to help. I didn't want anybody to step in. I didn't want people to think that I couldn't do it.
Right.
But I had a group of people that I could go to for advice when I did need it or when I was wanting it. Right. And thankfully, my village allowed me the space to have this loneliness, but was also very present when I asked for it. And I can't imagine other moms who don't have a village that can do that for them. Right. To have even a hodgepodge of women that can be there just because that became my friends out of necessity. It just highlighted how real that necessity is. So in those first few months, things are turned upside down and it takes a toll on you emotionally, physically, and mentally. And that is what the book showed. It's not a lie.
Yeah.
That's what I wrote.
The fact that these women went through it together and came out, I think that's why I was rooting for them, was exactly what you just said, was I couldn't have gotten through it without my village. And they created this village through all of this. In the end, I want to root for that.
Yeah.
Right?
Okay, so the role of men. Men play secondary roles in the story, yet their actions ripple through the women's lives. How did their actions influence the women's experiences and decisions? Did the story make you reflect on the role of men, partners, fathers, or otherwise in your own life? I just said definitely. The men may have played The men may have played a secondary role, but they are a primary influence in a marriage and a parenthood. Some of the husband's partners in this story, actually most of them, were awful, and I could not imagine having a partner like that. I wanted to punch some of them in the throat most of the times.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, there were more terrible partners than there were good ones, and I would like to believe that there are more loving, supportive, and compassionate partners out there than the stats in this book. But I have always been grateful for my partner. While him and I are not perfect, and I would never claim that we are, he has been the most supportive, present, and engaged father, and I couldn't be more in love with him because of the amazing father he has shown to be. It's his love for spending time with his kid and the overwhelming drive to provide for us that was just confirming that he is the partner for me in this life. And so, yeah, it made me really reflect on my relationship and my partner and how he shows up for me in certain ways. And although we are perfectly imperfect, it's our perfect.
Similarly, mine is a little sappy. It definitely made me thankful for the man I have partnering with me and going through life by my side. Don't get it twisted. He's definitely not perfect.
I think we both said the same thing.
But when I struggled with breastfeeding my kid, he never once made me feel bad for it. Went with me to any and every lactation consultant I felt like I needed to go to. And when I cried about needing to supplement with formula, he encouraged me to continue to try. And we would just use formula when we needed it. Never made me feel like breast is best. He may never fully finish doing the dishes. Like, why is there still one pot left in the sink when you did everything else?
Let it out, Sonny. Let it all out.
But he never makes me feel like I'm not doing enough around the house or enough in general, although it might be because I do that enough for the both of us. Still, he's there for whatever I need. And if it were up to him, he also would never keep his hands off of me, because I was thinking about Chrissy, right? My life is not perfect, but boy, did I feel lucky to have a good husband when reading this book.
I started writing a very emotional response. I was like, I can't keep crying in these damn book clubs,
right?
so I erased it. And I consolidated it a bit. So I said, many times the men in this book made the women second guess their confidence, and I hated it. Russell and Ewan were really terrible, and Ewan's negative commentary haunted Bella. That's all she heard in her head all
the
day
time.
was his shittiness.
Yeah.
So the story made me appreciate even more than I already do the men that I do have in my life that are loving, supportive, and great role models for my kids.
Yeah. Yeah. It makes
It's
such a
true.
huge difference to have somebody who's supportive. And I think that even though they might not fully understand the emotional toll that we are experiencing and the guilt and the conflict that we are personally feeling, at least the men in our lives make a conscious effort to understand in their own way and be supportive in their own way.
Or
And
be appreciative of all of the things that we carry and do.
yeah.
Also, if you've read this book, because when I think about the book, truly it was the husbands that were shitty. It wasn't the boyfriend, right? Electra actually had a good job.
No,
a good
Electra,
guy.
Yeah.
Pedro was great. Rupert, Mort was good. I feel like Russell and Ewan were the only two.
And they were the only husbands. But no, that if you are in a relationship with a great guy, they don't turn shitty because they're husbands.
yeah, right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Or long term, they're going to gonna turn shitty. No,
Right. It's not the
We've all
case.
been with our men long term. They're all still really great guys.
people.
Yeah. And he's still pretty great.
I mean, yeah.
I mean, I think there's always going to be something that like I leave shit in corners. Like I'm a corner person, and like there's a pile in the corner.
I know.
I have clothes in the dryer right now that I know are pissing off my husband.
Yeah, and so we all do things, and it just comes with
100%.
living and being part of that. I mean, you get all of the joy and all of the irritation too.
Oh,
Yeah.
yes.
It's just
There's
sharing space with people.
Yes, and we're not perfect. I know the second my husband says, "Can I just say that I did something that annoys him multiple times in a row
Or
and he needs to point
no
it out?"
disrespect, but like, okay,
He'll go, "Can I just say that?" And I'm like, "Oh God, what did I do?" All right.
ride or die.
If one of your close friends called and
Okay.
said, I think I killed my husband, what would you do first? Grab a shovel or call a lawyer? Now flip it. If you thought you'd killed your husband, who would be your first phone call and why?
Can I say I laughed the entire time I wrote this?
I really try to be like, okay.
I did
in all
too.
seriousness-
In all
I did
seriousness,
too.
what would I do?
Yes.
And okay, I think that we're gonna have similar answers.
Okay. I said if either one of you, because obviously you would be my closest friends.
Yeah.
If either one of you
What?
called and said anything remotely close to I think I killed my husband, I think my knee-jerk reaction would be stay still, I'm coming over. Like what? I don't know that I'm great at emergency situations because I can get pretty emotional. But I feel like when things really hit the fan, I'd black out, but I'd get shit done on autopilot. I don't think I'd ever come up with a plan like these ladies did, but I try, and I've watched pretty much every episode of CSI, so
That's what I was thinking
so
too.
we should be okay if Gil Grissom comes around to check on things.
God.
Now, if I thought I killed my husband, I don't know what I would do. I think I would turn into a puddle, at least for a little bit, until I realized I had a kid I needed to protect, and I'd probably end up calling one of you guys or my mom. Honestly, it would be so out of character that I'd be like, what is this? Why is this happening? Someone had to have come in here and killed him. It could not have been me.
Jen, where is your bitch ass?
Dang it, Jen.
It would be very shocking.
Yes. Yes. Okay, so I said, OMG, wild. So if one of you called me and said that, I would probably ask, are you sure? I don't know that I would encourage you to grab a shovel, and I probably wouldn't suggest you to grab one either. I think my first thought would be, it must have been an accident, and that is something we can speak to in court. I said,
Well, now I know who I'm not calling.
Hold on. I said, if you confess and asked me to help, the rule follower in me would really be conflicted.
Yes.
Said, so I would want to help you hide the body, but I'm a terrible liar. And if I was questioned about it, I would crack. So I suggest don't tell me and use me as an alibi instead.
Look, if anybody asks, I was with you.
Yes, use me as an alibi instead. I would, no, just come over and don't tell me. And then when people
with
ask
you.
me, I'd be like, yeah, Sonny was in my house. We were having wine, doing whatever. And it would be a genuine truth.
So use you.
Yes.
But don't tell me
But
about
don't
it.
tell me about it so that I can corroborate your story if I have to.
I want you to know that I'm three-way both of you guys. I'm conference calling you guys in.
I'm going to be the one no, don't tell me. I don't want to know. And then I think if I flip it and it was me, I would just be so beside myself. I don't know what I would do. I'd probably call my mom first. And then whatever she said to do is probably what I would do. Not that I wouldn't call you guys, but I think I'd be so like in utter shock. Unless I did it and it was premeditated and I was like, thank God I finally got rid of this guy. Then maybe
That's what I mean.
I would come to your house and use you as an alibi. And I wouldn't tell you about it. And then I would just come home and I'd be like, oh my God, my husband's dead. I was at Sunny's house all night. Me, Rachel, and Sunny were drinking wine. I don't
Had a
know.
sleepover.
You'd have to do it immediately.
She
after,
tucked
because
me
they
in.
Have like this. She tucked me
Yeah.
in.
I was drunk. I spent the night at Sunny's house. I don't know.
And you'd have to text him. Hey, babe.
Yeah, I'm spending the night.
Spending the night.
Me,
Had a little
Sunny,
too
and
much to
Rachel
drink.
had too much to drink. I'm not coming
Except the
home.
timestamp of his death is before you left the house.
That's what I'm saying. Like they usually
No.
only come up with a time frame, so you'd have to like and book it out to my house so that I
No.
could say no, she was here during that time frame.
Unless I like slowly poisoned him and he died in his sleep as I was already gone. But I would never kill my husband.
No, yeah. Also, maybe we don't post this because it's definitely something against us if anything happens to our husbands.
Hold on. Let's just clarify
I just
to the
want to say
world.
this is a terrible question.
This is all
really liked it.
hypothesis. and very unrealistic and would never happen.
We just talked about how much we appreciated our husband.
Yeah.
These are facts.
How would you ride or die for us?
I said I was going to show up with a shovel. I'm not burying anybody. We have to burn them. I'm saying it now. Like,
She said incinerate that bitch.
we got to burn the
Hot
evidence.
enough. How would you? What do we have to cut him up?
Yeah.
Oh my gosh, there's so many.
I got so many.
details
I
that
got
don't
so
wanna
many
know.
yard tools. Don't worry about it. Anyways,
Calling Rachel.
Okay, look. If you
So-
call me, I'll be there. But please have him cut up prior to my arrival.
this is me going to you.
oh, right.
But I'm going to need to hear all of the details first before we finish making the plan. I need to
Okay.
know all of the details of why it happened, like how it happened, because we need to dispose appropriately.
Yes.
I am way more down than any of you
yeah,
are.
you are. I agree. Well, I think you're more
I'm great.
level-headed
I'm
in
great
this
in a
moment.
crisis.
Yeah,
Yeah, I was gonna say
excellent
you
in
are
a
the better
crisis.
I'm
crisis
not, even with
of the
my
three
kid,
of us.
I struggle. I'm not like, I can make this happen, but I'm gonna cry the whole time.
I am the emergency contact
This
of your
is a great
dreams.
question. So I'm gonna add you to
I'm
my
making
phone
notes,
as
actually.
emergency contact.
If it was the other way around, I don't foresee a reason for that happening. I would never.
Yeah.
But there would be a conference call and you two would be on the receiving end because I think you would be able to help me walk through and make the best decision about what to do next.
Not rocks. Not rocks.
Not rocks
No,
now.
I would tell you, just come over.
I'm
and when
hanging
they-
up now. Come over.
Yes. When they need you, you were here all night. That's all I know.
That's all I know.
She came over. I don't know what happened
You
prior.
can call me. I'll help you with whatever you
Thanks.
need.
Okay.
And then both of you
we'll
come
both
here
go.
and use me as the alibi.
Excellent.
That's a great team. I just can't lie in the face of authorities, okay?
But you have to a little bit.
Yeah.
I wouldn't know. You just
was
came
here all
over.
We have to keep her in the complete darkness and then just show up at her house and be like, we brought
Wine.
snacks and wine and all our kids.
Yeah, and I'd be like, wow, all right, come on in, ladies. Let's do this.
Secrets, lies, and baby snack. The women in the story are hiding some serious secret behind their baby wipes and snack bags. What's the biggest secret you think you've kept from a friend, for a friend? Oh, I read this wrong in my answer. What's the biggest secret you think you could keep? And what's a secret you wouldn't be able to keep no matter how close you are? I could keep whatever secrets you guys have.
Yeah.
I answered a different question. So I said I don't think I've kept any secrets. I think I share most of the things with you guys.
Like you're saying that
Yeah.
you wouldn't keep us in the dark in anything.
Yeah.
Except now, if you killed your husband, you'd have to keep rocks in the dark.
Well, yeah, now we know. I'm glad we had this conversation.
Hey, at least I was honest.
But I'm not so open with other friends. I don't consider it keeping secrets. I think of it as security clearances.
I like that answer though. Biggest secret you think you could keep for a friend? You said from a friend. I get what the mistake was.
But I could keep it. Whatever you got, I got it. I got you, boo.
I said cheating. Cheating is a hard line for me. If anyone asked me to keep that secret, I don't think I would run off and tell the world or tell the significant other, but I'd probably have to cut ties. I'm not willing to watch you or anyone for that matter destroy another person just because you're having a moment of selfishness, even if it was just for one night. I think it's possible for cheating to be a forgivable one-time offense, but keeping it a secret, nope, I'm out. Anything outside of cheating is definitely more of a gray area that I think I could keep the secret for, or at least I can't think of anything I'd feel as strongly about. I just think if you don't want to be with the person you're with, don't be with the person you're with.
Agreed.
And I would have a hard time being supportive of anyone.
So if I cheated on my husband one time, you would cut ties with me?
If you kept it a secret.
If you
From
told
my
me-
husband?
If you told me I'd made this mistake, I would be like, if it was just one time, I would not go and tell your husband. I would not, never. I wouldn't do that. But I would have a very hard time being supportive of it and being
agreed.
like, okay, that's okay.
Right.
We'll move past it. I'd be like, I really think you probably, if it comes out and there's ever a time where he finds out, it's going to destroy you. It's better to just face
Yeah.
it head on.
Yeah.
Right? That would be what my stance would be. And if you were like, I'm kind of falling in love with this other person, or I'm cheating, I'm having really fun doing it, and I just want to live my life like this, I'd be like, okay, you can, but I can't be a part of it. I can't watch this
Wow.
happen. So, yeah.
Decades of friendship.
Yeah.
Keep it in your pants, rocks.
I would never cheat on my husband. There isn't a secret you guys could tell me that I wouldn't keep for you. I would keep a cheating secret, but I would also try to talk you through it. Like, okay, is this really what you want to do?
Yeah.
Like, let's talk about it, right?
Honestly, I'm totally fine with you guys being like, I want to go and enjoy this person and have fun with them. It's I want to do it while destroying the person that I'm with. Like, that's a hard.
Yeah, that's hard.
You want to do that? Fine, but go tell him you want
Yeah.
to do it first and say,
Right.
like, we got to cut this off because I'm interested elsewhere.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah. There wouldn't be a secret that I wouldn't keep. I think that there would be a lot of conversations
Yes.
that would have to
Yeah.
happen about that secret.
Yeah.
And then hopefully we could talk you into doing the right thing.
Right.
If it's something it's that serious. If you're like, I farted in an elevator and I didn't tell the people. Well,
Actually, I'd probably tell that story. I'm not gonna lie. That's not a secret I'm willing to keep either. I'm like, you guys, listen to what Rox did the other day.
she crop dusted an elevator full of people.
I have farted before and blamed the baby.
I feel like most of us are open books, really. I don't
Yeah.
have a lot of secrets.
No, with each other?
No.
I think with you guys, there's not much that I don't tell you guys.
Yeah.
Yeah.
With others,
And I think it's the same with our spouses. It's not like we're harboring secrets. So if you guys
No.
came over and said something, I would be like, don't say that in front of him.
Yeah. Seriously. Yes. Yes. This was a funny question because I was like, I think.
Yeah,
we
it's
don't
funny
have
because I fucking can't read. And I answered a different question.
It's a good one, though.
Yes.
I'm glad to know that you would tell us everything.
We are.
I mean, after decades of friendship, there's not much you guys don't know. Sometimes I think you guys know more about me than like my family does.
Yeah.
Yeah.
For sure. Oh, well, for sure you guys know more about me than my family does. Some of you guys were there for it.
Oh, this is the surprise.
Oh.
I think the surprise is part of her ending.
Oh, okay.
Yes, it is.
That's a wrap on this episode of Literature on the Rocks. Thanks for listening to our book club episode of The Mothers. Join us on our next episode where we're going to be deep diving Assistant to the Villain by Hannah Nicole Mayer. If you had as much fun as we did, make sure to subscribe so you never miss an episode. We're here for you every Wednesday.
Yeah, smash that review button like it's a wine glass at a wedding. Help fellow book and bourbon lovers find us. And seriously, we eat your feedback like breakfast with a side of sarcasm.
Yeah, we eat it.
We eat it.
I'm so excited.
I like it.
I like it too. I can't follow that.
You can.
You can keep the conversation going by following us on our social media at Lit on the Rocks Pod on Instagram and TikTok and on our website, literatureontherocks.com.
Until next time, may your TBR be long and your cocktails be strong. Cheers.
Toodaloo.
Bye.